Bonjour. Good afternoon. Today is Saturday, October the 11th, 2025. I want to welcome our membership to another update. I wanted this opportunity to address some of the things that have been happening in our community. I haven't responded up to this point because I needed time to reflect on the things that have happened up to this point and the things that have taken place while I've been away from community. But also more important, gaining a deeper understanding or insight, having a deeper insight into our community and the issues that we are faced. I know there's a huge divide in our community at the present time. And I wanted to reflect. I wanted to find the right words to this message. And so I've crafted a response very carefully, taking into consideration the hurt that's out there, the misunderstanding, and this need for us to come together as a community. I understand that there's a huge divide in our community over concerns I've raised about CFS, specifically the coordination agreement. And I made an effort to work with CFS to access information that our community has been asking for. And there are many questions I can't answer because I've been denied access to this information. I've requested specific information so I would have an understanding of the agency's governance structure, their board appointments, the board composition, performance evaluations, the evaluations of the agency, the annual evaluations, the engagement protocols that explain how the board and the nation prioritize transparency and collaborative decision-making. Instead, I've been provided with, among other things, financial reports. We know that financial reports leave out crucial information. We can speculate about the $20 million that was spent on salaries or why there was such a huge increase in honorary and salary. But we can't say for sure what those numbers mean because we have been denied access to that information. Since I requested this information, CFS has continually built the case that is supported by 4 council members to deny me access and create a hostile political environment that has led to a lack of transparency and accountability regarding their actions in the current coordination agreement. My motives and my intentions are being questioned. But there's little attention given to the fact that decisions are being made where there are clearly conflicts of interest. How can you make a fair and impartial decision when a family member is involved and there's a conflict of interest? Good governance practice would say that one should remove themselves from any major decision making where immediate family members are concerned. Family members such as your grandparents, your parents, your children, and your spouses. A conflict of interest unduly influences one's decision. Decisions made under such conditions is not good governance. I'm not doing anything I shouldn't be doing. I'm not being unreasonable. The questions and concerns I have raised as a result shown by some community members, by some community members is a part of good governance. When something is not working as it is intended, questions need to be asked. And more importantly, answers need to be provided. No law in our community should be unchangeable, especially when it comes to our children. Among other things, there needs to be recourse, advocacy, and oversight. I recognize what the colonial agenda has done to us as a people, but we are replicating this internally in our own nation through the laws created. And I will not say it's our law, because the law they call our law flows from a provincial mandate. Our mothers and our fathers who are struggling with addiction, poverty, and poor living conditions shouldn't have to fight their own people for services and supports because of the way a law is written. The nation's law was meant to safeguard our children, provide culturally sensitive and meaningful programming and services. Yes, some of this is being provided through the lodges in our nation, but our children are still being apprehended, some without clothes or personal belongings, where family members are being denied access. Some families are not allowed to communicate with their children while in foster care. I'm concerned about what that is doing to our children. I'm concerned that the system is creating more harm to our children than what it was meant to do. Our families have reached out to the Children's Advocate of Manitoba for help. They have been told that their hands are tied and that this is out of their jurisdiction. In turn, our families have reached out to the leadership of our nation, and yet these pleas are being ignored. We as elected leaders have a responsibility to ask questions. We took an oath of office that includes being a voice for those who don't have one. As chief of our nation, as the CEO and the ex officio board member of every committee and organization in our community, I will not stop until there is a fair and transparent process in place and people who have authority over our children are held accountable. It is my responsibility to give voice to those people and those families who don't have a voice. I am the chief of our community, whether you like it or not. This is about our children, and my sacred oath and duty is to act in the interest of the entire community, especially those that are most vulnerable, our children. I will continue to do this even if I am the only one doing it. In our language, it is called Ingai Chige. Ingai Chige. It's a commitment to do what is right. It's a spiritual commitment, and one that the Spirit recognizes. I'm tired of the politics when these are real issues facing our children and our families. I've been accused of wanting access to the money, and anybody and everybody that knows me knows that this is not about the money. This is about our children and our families, and those people who don't have a voice. I am frustrated by the systems that have been built to protect those in power. I am frustrated by the systems that continue to put our people at a disadvantage. I am frustrated by the systems that continue to take control away from our people. I will continue to question, and I will continue to advocate for what is right, even if I am doing it alone. Don't be fooled by the rumors or the flames of fear that are being stoked, or the political agenda of a few. These are nothing more than tools of distraction designed to protect an agency that has been built on power, ego, control, and greed. I have talked to many chiefs across this province and across this country, and they share the same concerns. This is a very recent law for our people. Yet it may appear that they are giving complete authority to our nations. Instead, through this law, the provincial and federal government have created an entity that undermines the authority of the people and their democratic right to elect representatives who will speak on their behalf. The provincial and federal government are standing by. They're watching their colonial agenda unfold. We don't have control, and CFS has become like the government. They have taken the role of the Indian agent, where we still don't have control or power over what happens to our children. The fight is now within the nation. It's turned inward. Implosion is occurring. What happened to us as individuals in the residential school is occurring within our own nation. The self-hate, the loathing that these experiences created are happening on a larger scale. We did not envision this for Bill C-92 or when it was enacted. There has not been enough time for us to fully understand the implications of adopting the government's law. We need to reevaluate and we need to reassess. Someone has to say something. As Chief of Peguis First Nation, I am standing up and I am saying there is something seriously wrong because our children and families are not protected. I am asking for this agreement to be ended. I am asking for recourse, repeal, and to ensure that our children and families are protected, that they have access to the support and resources to ensure the entity that oversees the safety and well-being of our children are accountable and transparent to the nation and not to the government. So how do we create a pathway forward, one that is built on trust and respect, teachings that are foundational to who we are as Anishinaabe people and to who we are as the first peoples of this land? How do we stop the rumor, the division, and the fear-mongering that occurs in our community? It begins by being accountable to those you serve and standing by the decisions you make. It's about being open to public scrutiny and not becoming offended when questions are raised. It's about doing things for the greater good where the collective interest is the priority. In short, it's about accountability and transparency. Miigwech.